Hello everyone, my name is Inko and we are back with our Mordor campaign. It appears that the Sylvan Elves are trying to propose a ceasefire. We have been at war with them for 48 turns. 50 turns this war has been going on, and we've been at war on and off with the Sylvans plenty of times. Because they always propose a ceasefire when things don't go their way. Now, I almost wonder if we should accept a ceasefire, but we'll figure out some sort of counter-proposal where they give us regular tribute in the thousands. That would be wonderful. Like 2,500, would they be willing to do that for like 10 turns? Oh, apparently they can only give us 689 coins per turn, so maybe they're actually quite poor, in which case this would not be a good offer, and then we'll forget about it. We have just captured Thornburg. I was willing to consider that negotiation because we could, park our two armies at Thornburg and focus fully on Rohan. We won't have to worry about them interfering either around Thornburg or on the northern border of Rohan, but it seems like it's going well anyway. We have earned 3,500 gold coins this turn. We were in debt until we lost a bunch of units by capturing some cities. Speaking of captured cities, I don't know if I pointed this out, but Tir Thorn is now owned by Run, and that is unfortunate because I really wanted to own that city. So now if we want to capture any of the Dalish territories, we're going to have to make this weird outcropping. But, in fact, if we push into the Sylvan territory, then we can get this nice kingdom if we push all the way to the Dwarven lands. But first and foremost, we want to look at Tirith Anduin. 5 turns until they surrender, not bad. We are moving some units around. I think we want to look at Folberg. So Gamling himself, who is 77 years old at this point, holy shit, he has marched across the bridge to try to relieve the siege of Folberg, but I guess the best idea would be to attack him and then block this bridge so that the Rohirrim can't reinforce, and then we can just leave Dwaravois. My mistake. Dondeth, now the Merciless. Dondeth of many names is what I shall call him from now on. Dondeth of many names will just continuously besiege Folberg because it's 8 turns until they surrender, and they're already beginning to starve out a little bit. And if possible, we can actually destroy Gamling and maybe return to our position if not needed, just in case they try to sally out. But we have some units here for Hormorath and Dondeth of many names. They're a few turns out, unfortunately, but they will arrive nonetheless. Okay, we can try to assassinate Gamling, but it's not worth it. We can try to assassinate Captain Ciarl here, Captain Carl, but I'm hoping my assassin will get killed. Look at that. Wonderful. That will save us some gold coins per turn. Because as we all know, Orcish assassins are useless. We have repaired the walls of Thornburg. Look at this. We're climbing up the faction rankings. If we look at living or neighboring factions, who is this? Is that Harad? It must be. No. Is that us? No. Who the fuck is climbing? Oh, that is Harad. My mistake. Here we are. Here's the Dark Lord of Mordor. Very sad. Here's Rune. Rohan is taking a plunge. The Sylvan Elves are below us as well. No, we're neck and neck, it seems. How about Gondor? How are they doing these days? Oh, not so hot, unfortunately. Militarily, we're not doing too bad. Top 5 factions? We must be top 5. Yeah, it seems so. But Harad is like way the hell up there. They've got nearly 3 times the military we do, which is a scary thought. Speaking of military, I'm trying to reform an army around Thornburg. I've got this little small stack here. I think these are men that we want to send back to Mordor proper for reintegration, retraining, whatever. Maybe we can retrain these guys at the Black Gate, perhaps. Yes, there we are. And we're going to send some units to replace those that we are moving. Some Morning Guard, some Uruks, and mostly trolls and raiders and whatnot. Actually, we'll send some raiders as well. We may as well do. There we are. So we've got these guys coming up, and I think I'll do this off screen, but I'll build a good army for Dwarvois, and then Ren the Unclean can move back to Malgalad maybe, and just, you know, kind of receive the reinforcements from Mordor, and then, well, I mean, it only takes a turn or two to move to Malgalad. He can always, you know, actually act as like a middleman. We can even put him on the road here just so he can react quickly, I should say, to anybody coming around the mountains or anything like that. Speaking of, though, we kind of want to take a look at the northern realms above Tirith Anduin, because I fear, you know, an elven stack will come out of nowhere and just totally destroy us. We are currently scouting around Dol Guldur just to see the viability of a future assault, and it's looking pretty good. Our watchtowers are keeping a close eye on the realm. We can see that there is a captain up here with some units. Captain Rohirdarin is a turn or two away from Tirith Anduin if he really wants to reinforce. But primarily, I think I want to starve out these guys in Foldburg and Entwade. Sorry, Foldburg and Tirith Anduin. We already own Entwade. I want to starve them out as long as possible, and to accomplish that, we'll have to destroy Gamling in the field. So I'll grab Hormarath, and I will push him back. And you know what? I'll fight this battle, and I'll come back with a report, tell you how it went, and then we can move on with the episode, because I don't really want to spend, you know, all this time killing like 600 men. So I will see you guys in just a moment. So there we are. I've killed Gamling, and I killed 440 Rohirrim. Unfortunately, I lost 450 orcs myself because, you know, they charged their cavalry into my raiders. You can see that I've lost a lot of orcs out of all of my raider units, etc. But anyway, we'll head to the campaign map here, and I think I'll position Hormarath on that bridge crossing so that we don't have to deal with this again. I think he has a strong enough army to repel a certain level of troops, like maybe anything bigger than Captain Carl. We might be having a bit of an issue, but Hormarath can most certainly receive some of these reinforcements, and if necessary. I don't know if Dawn Death is going to need many of these guys. Well, looking at the army of Rohan, they very well could easily sally out and screw our shit up. So we may as well give those reinforcements to Dawn Death. Now, the idea is we'll capture Foldburg and give it to Isengard. I think I want Fangorn for myself because it is actually quite a large town. It's not a little village as I thought it was, but it is really quite a large town that we can probably tax the ever-living fuck out of. Speaking of taxes, we are having issues taxing Entwade because of cultural unrest, unfortunately. Much like Woldburg as well, although, having looked at it, Woldburg actually has a high tax rate. We have 3,000 coins that we could use to build some shit. I think we'll use it to recruit and retrain some units in Edoras. We can retrain our Orc Archers and possibly our Uruk Archers. No. We'll do an Orc Band and some Raiders as well. We can't actually recruit or retrain any of our Uruks yet because we don't have enough culture. As for Dunharrow, we can't build anything. Where would we build some buildings, I wonder? Perhaps Woldburg needs an armor, a practice range. I don't know. Nothing really needs anything. Nowhere really needs anything, I should say. Oh, we do need to retrain units in Minas Tirith, so we will begin with some Uruk Halberds, etc., etc. We can actually recruit some Uruk Archers in Minas Tirith. Wouldn't be a bad idea. They're not much more expensive than our scouts, but they're probably a million times better. Well, the missile attack isn't that much better, but the defense is way better. You know, we'll get some Uruk Archers. We may as well do. And then we'll retrain all this shit. I think we probably need to do some retraining in the Black Gate or Barad-dûr itself, which not really, it seems like. We have 3 trolls that need to be retrained. Where can we retrain them, I wonder? Perhaps Mount Doomington we built a Troll breeder, a troll cage. Maybe we can save up for another troll cage somewhere. I think we ought to. I think we'll end the turn here because there's not much we can do. We are currently upgrading Malgalad as well, so it will be a large town. Unfortunately, Thornburg itself can't be rebuilt or anything like that. We can build a Shrine of Melkor, and we actually should do because the culture is quite shitty in Thornburg. I wonder, what do we have for a barracks? We just have a garrison quarter, so it's not great. That's orc bands, orc raiders, but we want the culture to remain followers of Melkor more than anything. I think, you know what I'll do is I'll quickly reform these two armies into one big army. I'll end the turn, and when we come back, we can perhaps check on Foldburg and Tirith Anduin, etc., etc. So I'll see you guys in just a moment. Alright, here we are with Dwarf Wah's army. It's not bad. He's got some trolls, some spiders. We're just lacking in heavy infantry, such as Uruks, and some missile units. Although, we don't really need missile units, other than to perhaps defend Thornburg, just because we're going up against the elves. So, if anything, we just need more heavy infantry like Uruks, Maulers, Halberds, etc., etc. But we do have some reinforcements en route, so not really a big deal. Although we could recruit some more Uruks in Barad-dûr just to make sure they arrive eventually. But here we go. We will end the turn. So, interestingly enough, it appears that Harad has just captured Lon Galen, and they've got 2 full stacks, led by family members outside the place. Hanad and Hashim, apparently. That means that Gondor has been relegated to one singular province by the name of Andrast. The capital is now Anulon. And it appears that it is already under siege, so Gondor is very much almost knocked out of the game. So we've retrained a bunch of units, and we've got a bunch of Uruks in Barad-dûr. So we're going to grab them. We want to move them to the front lines, like so. We also have a bunch of units retrained in the Black Gate. So we've got 3 units of Uruks en route. In addition, we have some Morning Guard, etc. Having been retrained in Minas Tirith. Let's see, what do we have? Morning Guard and Halberds, yeah. So those belong to the west. We'll send them to Woldburg, I suppose, or even Fort Details for now. And Edoras, we have retrained a bunch of shit. Edoras and Woldburg. Let's see. What do we have in Edoras for retraining? I assume these guys just need armor, so we won't even bother with them for now. And then in Woldburg, we retrained some Orc Band. And in Thornburg, we also retrained some Orc Band. So, Dwarf Wah has an army. We've got some reinforcements en route. He wants some Uruks, that's for sure. So basically we've got our Orc Band front line, followed by some Morning Guard front line, and then the Uruk Halberds also in the core of the army, and then we've got 2 Raiders and a Mauler and an Uruk per flank, I would say. I might even go so far as to kind of develop like a sub-flank system, like I can have really wide-ranging flanks and then troops that will curl around the enemy that have engaged our spears directly, if that makes some kind of sense. Okay, what else we have? We've got some halberds and some raiders heading to Thornburg to build an army for good old Ren the Unclean. So he's going to sit for a while to build an army. We can kind of fuck around with Dwarf Wah for no reason. As for Tirith Anduin, we are 4 turns away from having starved these guys out. They're not looking so hot. We've got Captain Dernwine. A very weird kind of wine has sprung up outside of Foldburg. 7 turns until they retreat, or surrender, I should say, would be the correct word. We'll give these troops to Dawn Death just to strengthen his army. Looks like Hormarath has got a friend on the bridge. Oh my, it's Captain Carl, and he's got 4 pieces of siege artillery, which could be an issue if he was to attack the bridge. That's a little bit worrying. We've got another unit of Uruks that can probably go to Dawn Death, I would say. I'm just a little bit worried that the Rohirrim are going to try to sally out, and that would be a bit of a shit show because they actually have a very strong army. A lot of these troops, I believe, fall under like a garrison script. I can't quite recall what was in there before we began besieging the place, but it was not these guys. They came out of the fucking woodworks. They were born of the sewers, basically. They just kind of sprung out like... And then we had like 10 million Rohirrim to deal with. It's very grotesque. But again, I think we're pretty much drawing to the end of our turn. I definitely want to save up for a troll breeder / troll cage, so I don't want to, you know, spend too much cash. Not much more than I have to via, you know, retraining, etc. Speaking of, we're going to try to retrain these trolls in the Black Gate. It's very convenient because we've just been able to retrain and recruit trolls in the Black Gate when these guys show up. Like, what are the chances? Anyway, I think we may as well end the turn again. I don't know. Can we crank the taxes up anywhere? Pelargir, perhaps? The taxes in Pelargir are quite low. Are we not able to have more troops? Yeah, okay, we're short 2 units in Pelargir, so we may as well get some raiders and another unit of scouts, I guess? Why not? We can't recruit any orc band. How about Arnak? Arnak is very low on troops because we scooped up a bunch. Let's do this. We scooped up a bunch when we needed reinforcements on the front line, and that has affected our bottom line, our taxes, that is. Let's retrain the general. Why are the taxes so low in Minas Tirith? And by taxes, I mean the public order. Why is public order so low in Minas Tirith? Because of taxes and distance to capital. We can't really deal with that. Perhaps we just need more garrison. We can get 5 free units of... Yeah, we may as well recruit some troops for Minas Tirith eventually. We are out of gold, though, this turn. So I think we'll end the turn yet again, see what's going on. Here we go. It's great. I was just saying I wanted to save up for a troll cage, and then I'm, you know, recruiting units in fucking Pelargir and stuff. Like, what the hell? Okay, we've retrained some trolls in the Black Gate, and we've got some garrison in Arnak and Pelargir, which is wonderful. They will come in handy when we crank the taxes up, like so. Nope, that's not good enough. We are still 1 unit short. Oh, I see. It's because the scouts are still training. Much like Arnak, the scouts are still training. Will we have enough garrison to crank the taxes up? Very hard to say. Very hard for me to say. Now, we can still build stuff in East Osgiliath, but I just feel like none of it's worth it. Short of building like troll cages and shit. We can build a troll breeder in the Black Gate. I think that would be our target, because everywhere else has a troll cage. Mount Doomington has a troll cage. Durthang probably is not able to have a troll cage. I don't know. So we have to save up 4,800 coins. That is an easy task as long as I remain conscious of the fact I often forget. So we could possibly have Dwarvenwall in like a forward position. I don't really know where I want to put him. I just know that I can utilize him to maybe cull some of these Sylvan armies. I don't know. He can swoop down upon them and annihilate some of these armies. We'll try that. We'll have him in a forward position. Ren the Unclean can hold Thornburg. Malgalad can continue to pump troops to Ren the Unclean, etc., etc. We do have a unit of 6 trolls that needs retraining as well. I don't know when we're going to do that. Eventually, we can just besiege Tirith Anduin. I would prefer to, you know, starve them out, but we could always just besiege the place. I mean, look how much siege equipment we have. 4 towers. Much like Foldberg, actually. Ooh. See, I could assault the walls in Foldberg, but I bet it would be more of a pain in the ass than anything. So I much prefer to starve them out. 6 turns. Damn, it's these sieges take such a long time. We are still short of cash, so we can't actually build any troll breeders, but we have some troops to send to, I would say Aldborg or Edoras is probably our greatest bet. Okay, we'll send all of our reinforcements to Aldborg. How's that? I think Aldborg has a higher culture anyway. Yeah, you know what? Let's send all of our troops to Aldborg. We only put troops into Edoras in the first place because we needed a garrison to fend off some enemies. I think Edoras itself can have 4 units, so we will recruit another... Let's recruit another raider for Edoras. Then we can crank the taxes higher. In Aldborg, we can actually retrain a bunch of units. But we will not recruit anything for now because we want to hang on to our gold. Man, who the fuck is this? Captain Guthmar. Look at this guy. He's got, like, really basic medieval units. Sword militia. Peasant axemen. Who the hell are these guys? And where the fuck did they come from? They're blocking the road from Minas Tirith to Woldburg. Oh no, we don't even have anyone near to deal with it. Maybe Muslin could scrape together a bit of a militia, but Adu would most likely be the ideal candidate for this. He can march south and deal with it. Oh, bit of lag there for no apparent reason. Okay, you know what? I think we even have time for one more turn. We may as well do. Here we go. Okay, it appears that we have failed a mission to assassinate Leofera, which is... I don't really give a fuck at all. We've recruited some units in Minas Tirith, Arnak, Pelargir, Edoras, etc. Let's see. We'll grab these guys out of Minas Tirith, immediately send them to Aldborg. We are just short of our goal, 4,800 gold coins. What the fuck? What in the fuck is this? Okay, the following factions have declared they are allies. Orcs of the Misty Mountains. The following factions have declared a truce. The Sylvan Elves are at a truce with us. The following factions have become client kingdoms, abandoning their independence and sovereignty. Okay, the Sylvan Elves have become vassals of the Orcs? No, that would be wishful thinking. I would imagine that the Orcs have become vassals of the Elves. Say it ain't so. Sylvan Elves, vassals? No. Somehow the Sylvan Elves have vassalized the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. How have they done... what? That's so bizarre. I guess they are kind of sandwiched in between two very powerful factions, though, to be fair. So that means we'll have to take the fight to them ourselves, I guess. Gondor has been destroyed. Holy shit, there it is. The end of Gondor. It appears that Harad has captured Gonuland. Anuland, my mistake. And that's it. Maybe they'll push north into Rohan. Hard to say. As for Rohan, speaking of, we're having a bit of an issue because the Rohirrim are very dead set on breaking the siege of Foldburg. 5 turns until they surrender, and they've got basically a full stack of troops trying to cross the river. We've got just under half a stack coming to reinforce the city. It's not looking so good. But I'm pretty certain we can hold it. Much like Tirith Anduin. Well, no, Tirith Anduin is not an issue. 2 turns until they surrender, and then Adunafel can just march in and capture the place. We can turn the taxes really fucking high and focus our efforts elsewhere. Let's see. What is this? Limelight Fort. It is actually a fortress. Okay, so it's going to be quite difficult to capture that, I would assume. I don't know. Well, we won't concern ourselves with that right now. For now, let's just shove some more units into the Black Gate, into Malgalad, Thornburg, etc. And we'll build an army for Ren the Unclean, whilst Dwarf Wa runs off some Sylvan Elvish armies. We could just march and capture Dol Guldur, but I don't want to press our luck right now. We want to focus on Rohan, take them out. Tirith Anduin, Foldburg, Fangorn, and then we can focus solely on the Sylvan Elves. Things are going swimmingly. Eventually, we will have broken the Sylvans as we have broken Rohan and Gondor. But anyway, everyone, I think I will end it here. Next turn, we will come back. We'll have the gold to build another troll breeder. I'm thinking in Mount Doomington. We actually have the gold to build a troll breeder in Mount Doomington because Zagmaz the Mean is such a cheap motherfucker. Somehow he can penny pinch. He works with the unions, I think. He must, like, go over to the union leader's house every second Saturday or whatever for a meal, and he's like, "How are you, Mrs. Union Leader?" And she's like, "I'm fine, thank you, Zagmaz." And then they, eat some polenta or something. I don't know. Maybe somehow, somewhere, he's cutting costs. I don't know how it is. But anyway, when we come back, we'll continue to starve out Tirith Anduin and Foldberg. I'm a little worried about the powder keg that is growing in Foldberg. Tirith Anduin is a fucking breeze. Thornburg, Dwarvois, fucking breeze. But until then, I'm going to have to say thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stay in touch with me, follow me on Twitter. Check me out on Google+, Facebook, all that shit. And I will see you guys with another episode of our Grand Mordor campaign.